Okay, Captain Propeller. They've been around for a few years. People like them, people don't. I've never broken one. Can't say for other people's brands, which don't like being bent. They just, yeah, you get about 6 months out of them and see ya. Anyway, so this is their brand. This is seadoo one. It's 4-blade. Talk a bit about it, how they work. Anyway, this is out of I think it's 260 seadoo. Pretty sure. Anyway, I'll have to look up on it. This is a 300. There it is there. It's upside down. I've got all of them. Anyway, I just grabbed it out to explain a couple of things and how they work and what's going on. So I've got other videos. I'm porting ahead at the moment, so if you think jet skiing is just about bolting apart on and off it goes fast and you brought it off the shelf and it should do this and that and should make 3 miles an hour, yeah, good luck. Half of it doesn't work. I run all factory stuff, factory ride plate and modified it, and I find it goes even better than these aftermarket things. They tell you how great they are. Anyway, so I run a VXR. Some of you seen the videos. This one's a bit loose in here because the housing's actually worn out, that's why. But at the time when COVID hit, I didn't have any propellers, so I only had a SVHA propeller. So that was great, it worked. Had to machine it down though, because it's a lot different. 160 versus 155. So if you read the number there, you'll see it. And there you go. You can look it up and you can work it out yourself. But I'll show you a bit of a comparison. The damaged one. And I don't know if you can see it from there, but you see a bit of overhang. I'll put it to the edge. And there you go. It's completely different back on it. Move it over a bit so it's nice and even and fair. But it's about 5 mil, so it's a restrictive, and that's a good thing, and someone will like. And the reason being it's a good thing because people are running 11-15 propeller. One, that tells me you've got no horsepower. You need to have a look at my advancing the cam to fix that problem up. That'll give you an extra 10 horsepower, but it feels like heaps more than that when you get it done anyway. It probably is, who knows. But that's another video, so won't waste time on that. But the 11-15, yeah, it works. It works. It's like throwing dirt in someone's eyes to win a fight, because it's got no mid, no off the line, and it's got, at the last minute, it'll run whatever it runs. I never got one to go over 71 mile an hour, but that runs out. The horsepower increases to go past that, and that propeller's in the garbage. So 11-17 or 12-17 is about factory, all right, for an VXR. And it's pretty weird that you have a look at Yamaha, or like the Kawasaki compared to the Yamaha, and the propeller on the NA, the 15. It's somewhere around 17 or 18 or something like that, off memory, and it's pretty high. And when you modify the VXR or the NA, it actually decreases that much, but the takeoff is just horrible. All right. So people will pitch them, and what will they do? They'll sit them in here, and they'll tell you the angles, and people are like, what the heck are these angles all about? Well, I'm going to explain. All right, so 13, what's 13? That's the intake, all right? And they'll have 19 or 18, and that'll be the leading edge, trailing edge. So leading, trailing. Well, why do they have that? what it actually does, it lets in water, so much of it, and then it flicks it. It sort of catapults it out the end. And this is great because it gives you top end and mid. People running around in the day, the early ones, they're like 15, for an example. 19, they weren't nothing like this. Alright, so when I say I restricted mine, like, that's a good thing, because you're letting less water through, you're not trying to compress as much, and you can actually flick less of it at a more degree angle than 11, 15. But I was playing with propellers and everyone's doing the same, and I started playing with things a lot different to everyone else. And people go, I've got a two angle pitch. Yeah, I run 3. And people, what the heck is a 3 angle pitch? What it is, instead of bending the whole propeller, just change the whole shape. I'll run a 13, 19, and I'll drop it down to whatever it is. I've dropped it down to a 17, even a 16. And that is the easiest way. And this propeller, I don't think it's been done. Oh yeah, it is. See that last edge? It's about 20 mil of it. You can see the difference in the pitch. Now, this is the easy way to bend propellers. You can bend them, and not only that, it gives you more mid, more thrust, and more top end. Yeah, and people are like, what? No. So you can see the difference. It's a fair bit. And I have a propeller, and I spoke to Rock. I want them built and made, but I need 50 of them made. So if you're interested, get a hold of Captain Propellers, get onto that Rock and tell him you want one. But I'm not going to tell you the angles until, you know, I have enough money to actually make them and sell them. Because I spent a lot of time developing the propeller. But now I've gone more horsepower, I don't know how it's going to go. I might have to come up with something different. But for the person who advances the camshaft and that, and plays around with their own stuff, this is going to make a massive difference. So I'll show you what I mean by these propellers, alright, and what's going on with different ones. So you'll see this propeller and know what, it's 1318.5, and then you'll come over and you look at this one, and it's a seadoo and it's running okay. There's nothing on it. I have written on them before. Oh, there we go. That's a 1316. Anything below 15, I wouldn't go near it. Alright, it's got no mid, it's terrible, bad on fuel, it's revving the motor too hard. Okay, so this is a 61.2 millimeter. So yeah, it's running less. Like if you compare this with the 60 mil SVHA prop, it's actually running 1318 for the most popular one. And it's a lot more because it's running more blades. Alright, but these, people go, seadoo chews so much fuel. Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, the camshaft's way bigger on the seadoo. It's massive compared to the Yamaha. The Yamaha's a baby. It's about 2 mil, a bit over 2 mil bigger on each valve lift. And then you got a big overlap, which doesn't help the fuel either. Half of it's going out the exhaust. And then you have this problem. It's just like a stall converter. You ride against another person with a seadoo and a Yamaha, and you compare the RPM. They don't lock up to about 5.5, 6,000. I can be sitting on 4,500. My mate can be on his 260. And supercharged, not NA. Sorry, I didn't put that in. SVHO against the 260. And when we get to 6 grand, we're both sitting on 6,000 at same speed. But below that, I'll be sitting on 4.5, He'd be sitting on about 5.5 at the same speed. They don't lock up. So they are quick off the line usually for the size of the motor, because they act like a store converter. And they hook up really well. They've done comparisons. I reckon there's 1 km/h difference. I don't see that at all. If you got the right setup, that's 4 or 3 blade is not going to affect top end. I reckon you can get more speed. Oh, look, out of a boat, yeah, for sure. Out of a jet ski, it's a different story. That it's a different setup. So, all right. So I'm jumping from stage to stage, just explaining how things work. So, if you change the pitch here, it'll give you more hookup down low. So if you went from, I'll go back to the Yamaha, you went to a 12-17, and you come down to like a 13-17, you're going to notice a pickup, all right, off the line. But you're going to suffer on top end because you're not grabbing a little bit and throwing it hard. You're grabbing a bigger bit and trying to throw it hard, and it doesn't work. So off the line, mid-range, it'll definitely pick up more. So, all right, we're going to have a look a bit more. I'm a bit all over the place at the moment. There's so much going on right now around me. Anyway, I'm trying to ignore it. So, yeah, you got to make sure the clearances are right. Got to make sure the propeller's right for the ski. You don't want to load them up too much, and you don't want the motor revving too hard either. You don't want to wear the motor out. So, I'll do other videos later. I've just been that busy. So, this will go 13, 18, and I don't know the last one. I'll look at it now. I'm trying to match it up with something. I think this is the intake. As you can see, I'm really prepared. Yeah, here we go. Some measure off the top, some measure off the bottom. It's more this line here. No, it's definitely that one. And that would be, at this point, the red line. 16. So come around. Yeah. So I've been playing with this one. But I have got a heaps better one. Alright, and problem is with VXR, cavitation off the line. You cannot get rid of it. Well, you can. I've done it. You lose horsepower. You run a big prop, and you probably go 108 kilometers an hour. I've done it with a 13-19, and I've still got cavitation. Because now I'm putting out that much power, it's just silly for an NA. But it's even going to put out more again. And I'll show you how to port heads and stuff like that later, and what to do, what not to do. Port tumbling, probably never heard of it. They don't swirl, they tumble. Anyway, that's something else to look at. But right now, this tail edge, about 20 mil in, 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch for them other people in America. That tip is just bent. That's it. And the best thing about that, you're not bending the angle the other way. See here, like, you have a look at the 11-15, and their blade is almost backwards. It almost looks like the opposite of that. And it's like it's pushing water to the edge of the what's the name of it? Sorry, I'll remember it in a sec. So it's pretty in line. But when you're running 11-15, these blades are like pointing up this way. They're actually horrible, like terrible. And yeah, when it's sitting in the housing, wearing, whatever you want to call it, when it's sitting in there. So yeah, it's like it's pushing water away from the center, which is probably causing more friction. I don't know, but I don't like it. And I can tell you now, this setup's way better. But even the 13 19 is too big. Only problem I found with Rock's one, they're hard. They're very hard. They're hard to machine. They're hard to bend. That's a good thing if you got the right prop. But this is how I come across bending just the tail, because these are so hard. Like, it's wrecking all the tooling on the lathe when I'm spinning it. And the finish is beautiful. And I'm not just saying this because I've become friends with this bloke, Rock. I'm saying it because they're actually a really good propeller. Like, I've had it for like 2.5 years, and I've caned it 6 months. See you later. And I actually bent one of them about 7 times, and it's still going. It's still going strong, and it's in the craft at the moment. And I thought it would have let go by now, but it's actually really surprising. Even my mates go, no way, that's rubbish, it's garbage, it's not going to hold up. But honestly, best propeller I've owned. And salt water always makes them look yuck after a while. But anyway, it's a newie, so you can't really compare. But the quality is really good. The spines are good. They're balled up. My mates have had no trouble. I've given them away, actually. I had problems selling them in Australia, so I just started giving them away. Anyway, see if people like them. They're still going on them, so they've never had to buy another one, unfortunately. And I've got heaps of them. So when the time comes, I'll sell them one. But a lot of things in jet skis are very secretive. They don't tell you anything, they don't share anything, they don't help you with anything. It's like this secret society. It's a bit like dogging and rigging and stuff like that. They won't tell you their secrets. You know, everything's a bit like that. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's 3-angle propeller. It's way easier to bend the tail than it is to bend the whole thing. Oh, I don't know what happened to me then. But anyway, always check every propeller. Brand new, old, second hand. Doesn't matter. Brand new spanking box. They can be out. Alright, the balancing might be right, but they can be out. I've never had a problem with this guy. I've had a problem with other brands. But never a problem. Not a problem. But the balancing's always fine, and look, I just reckon it's a great prop. And if you want a cheap prop, that's the go. Well, there's a lot of knockoffs of the other type, and they're actually giving this other company a bad name as well. But I've got the genuine ones, and I'm not going to mention the name, but they just keep breaking. They don't like being bent. Even at the tail, they don't like being bent. They'll start cracking straight up the guts. And as you can see, he's helped me to float on a river for about 5 hours. Lucky the tide was going the right way. The motor eventually stopped, it jammed up. So I'm over that. I'm over unreliable stuff. I want something I can just go. That's why I got away from supercharged things. I'm over it. There's got to be a different solution, and my NA is so much better on fuel. It'll go heaps further. The price of fuel at the moment is ridiculous, so keep tinkering with the NA. If you got any results, let me know. But people do this on their SVHOs, and I've got a couple of mates who I've told the secret to with the propeller. One's complaining, but he's only complaining because his revs went up. Well, you can fix that easy. There's no dramas there, but he thought he was going to make a bit more horsepower with the turbo. So I'm not really into that. But anyway, I let him know the secrets. He reckons the mid's picked up way better, so which it does. But I've never tried it myself on a supercharged or turbo ski. But something to do, and it's something so basic. You put them in the vise on the tip, and just bend it. I put the shaft in, put it in the tip, mark it out about 20 mil, and just bend it. Put a rag in the vise, so the rag wraps around it so you don't damage it, scratch it up and make it look horrible. I sharpen the tips up. I always sharpen the tip. It's like a razor blade. Problem with that, they get dented a lot. You hit sticks and twigs, they dent. You got to file them all the time. So if you're going out to race, that's the prop you use, the one you filed. You're going out to cruise around on, yeah, don't worry about filing it. Sticks and that are going to ding the end up. Or if you're like me and don't care, just drop the prop every now and then and balance it and sharpen it up and put it back in again. Or go for it. Definitely, it's worth it. Definitely helps. Everything helps. So yeah, there you go. That's a 3-blade prop. Crazy, but anyway, it works. Most are on a kicker. Like, it goes the other way for most of them. And that load the ski up that much, they couldn't push it. I don't have the power to push that, not in an hour. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.